Well, Ali McCoyce was injured minutes into his comeback game last week, so his replacement then, Samasi Abou, or Abou Samasi as he now wants to be known, is in from the start. That's the only change. Gordon Marshall, Tosh McKinlay and Gary Holt face their former club. Veteran striker Paul Wright comes onto the bench.
Well, it's a very, very experienced Kilmarnock side, and if you look at the names, you wonder why they've been in so much bother this year. I really do like the mix in midfield in particular. Mark Reilly will just sit there, probably pick up Isle Berkovic and certainly protect his two central defenders, Lauchlan and Dindeleux. Gary Holt will do the work of two men, he always does, and most of the subtlety will come from this man. We've already spoken about him, and they'll try and get him on the ball as often as possible. And it's good to see Bobby being positive tonight. The three French lads up front, he tells me he'll push Cocard on, and it's good to see a side coming to Glasgow and being prepared to be positive.
And you get the feeling these are two teams who can't wait for the end of May, really, David.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Ian. I think tonight Kilmarnock might just fancy their chances. I know Bobby said to David earlier on that it doesn't matter which 11 Celtic put out, but it does, of course, and Celtic are without the real quality they have here at Celtic Park on most of it tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if Kilmarnock have a bit of a go tonight.
Here's Tosh McKinlay, away by Risef and then by Tebele, but it's still around the edge of the Celtic box, and it looks like it will stay there for a while. McKinlay. Oh, McKinlay has let that one dribble over the line. There are a lot of empty seats around Celtic Park, a sign of the times here.
Yeah, I think even the loyalty of the Celtic supporters, Ian, can only be stretched so far, and the last straw was last Sunday. And it's not surprising on such a foul evening that some have chosen to stay away tonight.
There will be a few stragglers still to come in because the Scots are masters at getting into games very late. Goodness knows where they've been beforehand. Here's Dindeleux. There was a flag up against Tommy Johnson, but they've let Kilmarnock get on with it.
Yeah, we'll see a few offsides tonight, a few tight offside decisions for the near side assistant to call. Both of them, in fact. But Kilmarnock will certainly push their back line up as near to the halfway line as they possibly can. They always do. And it makes it a lot easier for the midfield three to help the front players.
Jim Lauchlan sends it back to the former Celtic keeper, Gordon Marshall. Not quite sure if that was his plan, but it reached McKinlay anyway. And here's Jerome Vareille, and he could be in here. And Tebele was with him. Vareille just couldn't find an opening.
Well, it's a glorious ball over the top. Yalvi and Tebele in all sorts of trouble here. Jerome Vareille claims for a penalty, claims that Tebele was leading with the right arm. And it maybe just came a bit too early in the match for Mike McCurry.
Tebele giving Tommy Johnson something to chase, but too much to chase, as it turned out.
Well, here's another look at the penalty claim, and it's typical of Jerome Vareille and his willingness to chase lost causes here. I have to say, I'd have been surprised if Mike McCurry had pointed to the spot there, but it's an early warning for Celtic as to how vulnerable they might be from the ball over the top tonight for Jerome Vareille.
Tosh McKinlay facing his former club. Mark Reilly isn't going to get to that. It'll be a Celtic throw. Reilly in his second spell with the club after an unsuccessful stint with Reading when Tommy Burns was in charge down there. He's now back, of course, at Celtic. Gary Holt. McKinlay. Up towards Abou, but away by Tebele. Here's Lambert. Healy. Away by Dindeleux, but only to Petrov. Now Berkovic. Here's Risef. Gus MacPherson, who does such a solid job for Kilmarnock, helps that back to his keeper. Oh, and Abou helps it on to Vareille. And he's still going. if he'd had a look around, there would have been a better option, but Celtic were extremely casual again.
Well, it's hesitation at the back again. On this occasion, I think it was Olivier Teverly who hesitated, and Jerome Vareille didn't have to be asked twice.
Lambert poked it through to Berkovic, Moravcik to his left, Johnson to his right. It's going to go first to Lubomir Moravcik. And Berkovic! Oh, straight at Marshall, who managed to get enough on it.
It's a great chance for Berkovic. Great pull back here from Moravcik to pick him out here. Berkovic just holds his position, and he did well enough to get the shot on target. Just didn't get the angle right to beat Gordon Marshall. Best chance of the match so far, though.
Foul by Mialbi on Abou. It's pretty end-to-end at the moment. Here's Vareille, and he's shaken off Teverly with ease. Jerome Vareille's cross. It came to Christophe Cocard. One to forget that. That was more likely to happen at Murrayfield.
Yeah, I think he had one eye here on Vidar Reset, who's coming to press the ball here. Never really got over the top of it at all. A decent start to the game, Ian. End-to-end stuff, but Celtic without doubt having the best chance of the match so far here. Lubo Moravcik looked out, picked Berkovic out perfectly. Might even have had time to take a touch on that. Decided to take it first time. And Gordon Marshall was perfectly positioned.
Vareille, Reilly, McKinlay. Reilly, who scored against Celtic at Rugby Park earlier in the season. Lambert, Berkovic, cut out by Jim Lauchlan, who was involved in a bit of a set-two with Ian Wright the last time these teams met in the league. In fact, he was sent off in the tunnel afterwards, if you can be sent off when the game's finished. Here's Abou, looking for Cocard, but cut out by Reset. Teverly. Colin Healy, who's impressed in his first team outings so far. Lambert, who returned against Rangers last week after a couple of months out. Didn't quite last the pace, but such an influence. Isle Berkovic. Moravcik looking to put Blinker in here. Manchester done so, and it was Durrant who got back. Goal kick.
Yeah, good awareness there by Ian Durrant. He knew the pass was on in behind him here, and he read it quickly enough to make sure he matched Reggie Blinker's run. Although I think Reggie Blinker had a fair claim for a corner there.
Cocard knocked it on. Abou, Healy, Petrov, who scored for Bulgaria in midweek, the last of their 4 goals in a 4-1 win over Belarus. Here he is again. Berkovic, Reset, Blinker, making his first start since the defeat here at the hands of Inverness and MacPherson, he said quietly around Celtic Park. Blinker. Flag will go up against Berkovic. Almost out, it appeared. Dindeleux has been talking to the media again this week about Celtic's search for a new coach. Doesn't look like it will be him, although he really hasn't made that situation very clear, has he, David?
No, I had a try on Friday and asked him 4 times, but he just wasn't having it at all. Eventually I gave up, but I think Charlie's right. I think it's becoming less likely he will take the job. Yeah, it's a good turn here by Petrov, and it's caught well late there by Mark Reilly. Petrov, one of the few Celtic successes of recent weeks, heavily criticised when he first arrived here, but I think he's done pretty well. over the last 6 weeks or so.
Durrant. Here's Jerome Vareille, and he's got the free kick. Meantime, Durrant is down. Durrant, an inspired signing for Kilmarnock when his time ran out at Rangers. Healy did well to pick out Berkovic, but it wasn't the pass that was required for Tommy Johnson. Tosh McKinlay, away by Freddie Dindeleux. Healy is there though, so is Lambert. Johan Mjällby, who played for Sweden against Austria midweek in a 1-1 draw. Giant Swede who once scored against England rather famously, thus making him very popular in this part of the world. Kilmarnock second from bottom, just a point above Aberdeen, but victory for Bobby Williamson's team today would see them leapfrog Dundee on goal difference. They were up at the other end of the table last season, but it's been a real slog for them this season. Just 4 wins. Only Clydebank in Britain have won fewer. Reset. Tommy Johnson is onside. Johnson to open the scoring. He does. Tommy Johnson puts Celtic in front, and Kenny Dalglish needed that one.
Well, that's the risk that Kilmarnock take, because they try to hold the line here. The hands go up here. Freddie Dindeleux in particular appeals for offside. I think Tommy Johnson's on though when the ball's played, and you can't ask for a much better finish than that. Enough pace in the ball to take it past Gordon Marshall, but Johnson timed his run to perfection. Kilmarnock caught out with this offside ploy, and you really can't blame Gordon Marshall, who was left totally exposed, much to the delight of Kenny Dalglish.
Tommy Johnson has had a career that has mostly been full of lows at Celtic, but just lately the highs have been coming. Scored in the League Cup final win over Aberdeen, and he's calmed Celtic's nerves here. Abou, Reilly, away by Tebeli. Reilly, that's going to swirl towards Vareille, but it cannoned off him rather quickly.
Well, this was the moment that mattered here, and as the ball is played here, you see Tommy Johnson at worst level, certainly onside, and Kilmarnock caught out.
Good call from the officials. Paul Lambert. Berkovic to Healy. Celtic 16 points behind the leaders Rangers, as I'm sure they didn't need reminding. They're 9 points clear of third place Hearts. They should secure second spot without too many problems, but second spot is not good enough in Scotland and in Glasgow in particular. Kilmarnock have a free kick though in their efforts to hit back straight away. Ian Durrant will of course take it. Holt looked like he was exchanging shirts with Reggie Blinker then. Johnson helped it on to Berkovic. A wrap chip to his left. That's where it's going. Celtic buzzing now. Berkovic sets it up for Lambert. Oh, it just skidded wide.
Berkovic loses Gary Holt here as Celtic go forward there, and it allows them to set Paul Lambert up for the shot. Not a bad effort from Paul Lambert. He just cut across the ball though. A bit of a slice on it and just drifts wide of the target.
Lambert, very much a key man. Celtic Park. Johnson Lambert. Blinker. Healy, Republic of Ireland under-21 international. It's a second bite of it. It's Celtic's throw. Killie turned 20 last month. Berkovic. It's the fifth meeting between the teams this season. 1 draw, 3 wins for Celtic so far, including in the League Cup semi-final. He went on to win that trophy. Reset to Moravcik. Richie Blinker. Reset well forward, just caught by Lauchlan, but nothing doing. Nothing doing for Kilmarnock either. Moravcik. It's spun off Holt. Paul Lambert brings Colin Healy onto the scene. Oh dear. He and Berkovic not quite on the same wavelength, and Durrant picks out Abou, who has it taken away from him by Petrov. Blinker. Straight at Lauchlan. Abou and Cocard. Tebele went with him. Paul Lambert. Johnson. Durrant. Tosh McKinlay, who played 99 times for Celtic, never quite completed the century. Might have thought he was back playing for Celtic then, because he's given it straight to Berkovic. Moravcik away to Blinker. Celtic on the prowl again with Moravcik now. He was certainly crowded out, and he caught Lauchlan.
Yeah, he caught Jim Lauchlan late there. It was a good challenge by Jim Lauchlan, who stepped out the back there to attack the ball. But the early goal in is exactly what Celtic needed tonight. I can tell you they wouldn't have got much sympathy from this crowd had they struggled early on.
Durrant. McKinlay. Dindeleux, away by Mialbi. Don't want to worry Kilmarnock, but they haven't won at Celtic Park since 1955 when they triumphed 2-0. Did you play in that game, David? Moravcik. Blinker. Stray one from Moravcik, duly dispatched by Tosh McKinlay. Between them though, Mialbi and Tebele will sort things out for Celtic. Healy. Lambert under pressure from Durrant is forced to go back. Here's Abou. Possibilities here for Kilmarnock. Not a good pass though, and it was read by Tebele, although he didn't have to spend too much time reading it. Gary Holt, who began his career here, left the army in fact to join Celtic when Lou Macari was in charge. Lauchlan slipping it through to Vareille. He's in here, Jerome Vareille. It's going to trickle wide, and it's a goal kick.
Should have done better. Olivier Tebele caught on the wrong side of Vareille again here as the ball's played forward. Tries to get in front of Vareille when he should have stayed goal side. Sold himself, and Vareille should have hit the target there. You look at Tevely there, he jumps in front when there's no need to. He's in control, and he gives Vareille a good chance.
Berkovic. Blinker. Moravcik in space. But he does have Gus MacPherson for company. Moravcik to Blinker. Kilmarnock appealing for a flag, which wasn't forthcoming. Not that it mattered in the end. Cocard. Durrant. McKinlay kept it in, but he has surely fouled Stilian Petrov. Celtic with 3 defeats in their last 4 league games. To Hibs and to Rangers and to Rangers again. But they're in front here. Tommy Johnson's goal, and they're looking for another. Neat move this. Berkovic. Moravcik. And Berkovic! It's going to come to Blinker! It's a second for Celtic, and they owe their fans this.
It's a good finish there by Reggie Blinker, but it's all coming from Ayo Berkovic, who's being allowed far too much room there. Once again, he's allowed to run at the Kilmarnock rear guard. Good ball wide there. And look at Berkovic. No one picks him up there as he makes his way to the front post. Breaks perfectly for Reggie Blinker. And he wasn't going to miss from there. But no one prepared to pick up Ayo Berkovic as he burst forward there. And that's what set the chance up in the first place. And that's exactly the start that Kenny Dalglish would have been looking for tonight. Good finish from Reggie Blinker. Made sure he was over it. And Celtic well and truly in the driving seat.
Reggie Blinker's 4th of the season. It's his first start under Dalglish. Healy. Met by Freddie Dindeleux, but landed on the chest of Mialbi. Blinker. Oh, he's put Reset away. Just going to run away from him, I think, but Celtic in firm control. Kenny Dalglish has warned his players that they're playing for a future. It remains to be seen who that future will be under, though, with regards to the new boss. Kilmarnock have only won 2 of their last 25 encounters with Celtic, so perhaps we shouldn't be too surprised at this scoreline. Here's Cocard. Ian Durrant. Durrant delivers. Mialbi won it. Oh, Moravcik tripped by MacPherson, was he? Going to be a yellow card for Gus MacPherson.
Yeah, I think Gus MacPherson knew what he was doing there, because Lubo Moravcik was breaking into a very good position, acres of space in front of him. I think Gus MacPherson knew exactly what he was doing there.
It was pretty eventful when these teams met here earlier in the season. Kilmarnock took the lead, had Martin Baker sent off at 1-1 and were demolished 5-1. Mark Viduka scored a 5-minute hat-trick. They're not missing Viduka and his goals so far, Celtic. Blinker has got on the score sheet. Lambert, and now Reset. There's so much space for Celtic. Reset has made a mess of the cross, though.
Yeah, poor final ball, and to be fair, Celtic, well, they have Reggie Blinker on that side, but certainly Vidal Reset. You'd be surprised if he's going to deliver a good final ball from that side. But just looking back to the goal, twice Ayo Berkovic was allowed far too much room. He gets it here, he's not picked up, acres of room to run into, delivers it wide, and again he continues his run, and he's still not picked up as he gets to the front post. And it was a costly mistake for Kilmarnock.
Reilly. Mialby's got this covered. Killie. Lambert. Richie Blinker. Petrov. Killie is going to latch onto this. And he's stepped past Dindeleux, but then ran into Lauchlan. Blinker though, first time out towards Moravchik. Celtic really in their stride. Moravchik almost knocked out of his stride by Cocard. Here's Olivier Tebeli.
Pretty tight in terms of possession, 58-42, but the real stat that matters is one of Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0. It's hardly the start Bobby Williamson would have been looking for tonight. Must have felt that his side had a real chance given the Celtic injuries.
Durrant
football left, right enough, sorry.
Here's Tommy Johnson. This time though the flag has gone up.
Just to get back to Ajo Berkovic here, as I said, he's allowed far too much space here. He's driving forward, but as he plays it wide, again he's allowed to run unencumbered into the front post area. Eventually Jim Lauchlan tries to get to him, but it breaks perfectly for Reggie Blinker. And I don't think you can allow Berkovic that kind of room in these areas.
Since the Scottish Premier was formed in the mid-70s, Kilmarnock have a dreadful overall record against Celtic, and it is showing no imminent signs of improving. They've beaten them just 4 times in 43 games, all at Rugby Park, and all by a 2-0 scoreline, strangely. It's 2-0 to Celtic at the moment, though. Lauchlan to Cocard. He's got the free kick for the foul by Mialby.
Yeah, it's a good turn there by Cocard. This lad is a player. Maybe the wrong side of 30, but great technique, and clearly shouldered there by Johan Mialby as he turned inside him.
Scored here earlier in the season, but it didn't matter much. It did at the time. He put Kilmarnock in front, but they lost 5-1. And Bobby Williamson's rather sorry season is not getting any better this evening. Tommy Burns, former Kilmarnock manager, of course. In fact, he brought them into the top flight 7 seasons ago. Durrant whips that one in. Away by Tebeli. And firmly so. Berkovic. Neat footwork by the Israeli international, who scored for his country midweek against Georgia. Moravchik. Blinker. He has Lauchlan to contend with, and he'll have to settle for the throw. Jim Lauchlan out of contract at the end of the season, to agree a new one with Kilmarnock. Mialby. Healy. Lambert. Here's Dindeleux though. Straight back to Lambert, who effortlessly brought it under control. Lambert. Tebeli. Berkovic helps it on to Tommy Johnson. He's going to get it back, and he's put Petrov in here, and Marshall blocked it, and it came off McKinlay, and now Lauchlan has it.
It's a magnificent play from Ajo Berkovic, who really is at the top of his game tonight. And Celtic could have done with that kind of performance from Ajo Berkovic on other occasions this season. It looks as if he's in the mood tonight.
He most certainly is. Here he is again. He's found Tommy Johnson. Free kick. The flag was up, in fact.
Offside given, I think. Tommy Johnson reckons not. Again, it's Berkovic involved. And it's tight, but I think Tommy Johnson's half a yard off. It's a good block here from Gordon Marshall. Berkovic again involved with the ball inside Tosh McKinlay. And Gordon Marshall did well to get off his line quickly and close the ball down.
Gary Holt. Cocard. Durrant. MacPherson. Cocard. Holt. Durrant up towards Cocard. Back to Durrant, who took it so well, but might just have showed too much of it to Jonathan Gould.
Well, the first touch is magnificent here. It's the final touch that let Ian Durrant down there, but tremendous touch to take him through there almost to the byline. Come on, I could do with more of that.
McKinlay scuffed it out.
Well, how's this for a first touch? And this is not an easy one to take. Dink ball forward to Cocard. And what a fine touch with the outside of his right foot, and it's the final touch that lets him down.
Olivier Tebeli. Yalby. Blinker. Moravcik. Vidar reset. Healy. Celtic playing keep ball at the moment. Couldn't quite keep it for too long though. Tosh McKinlay has a bit of a problem and is going off. So the former Celtic man makes an early departure and is replaced by 21-year-old Sean Hessey, Liverpool-born defender. His first duty will be to take the throw. He actually joined Killie from Huddersfield, but was also on the books of Wigan and Leeds. Blinker looking for Lambert, who just managed to elude Cocard. Reset. Berkovic. Celtic comfortable. I knew they'd give it away in the centre. Here's Durrant. Cocard. Reggie Blinker showing determination. Petrov. Christoph Cocard. Tosh McKinlay had to go off with a hamstring problem. So Kilmarnock forced into a first half change. Jerome Vareille can't get his cross in. Reset made sure of that, but he will be able to try again. Trying to shake off Reset and succeeding only in getting the corner.
Reset sticks to his task here, stays on his feet. And eventually, when the time was right, he put the tackle in.
It's the first corner of the game, and it'll be taken by Mark Reilly. I think there might be better corners to come. Hessey, the sub. Now Dindeleux. Nobody over there though for Kilmarnock. What a waste. The Monday Night Football returns from White Hart Lane. It's Tottenham against Middlesbrough. Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Just over 10 minutes of the first half remaining. And many involved with Celtic rather relieved that they are in the position they are at the moment, because had they not been so, you suspect the natives would have been a little restless in the east end of Glasgow.
Oh, you can be sure of that, Ian. They wouldn't have been slow to let their side know what they felt had they struggled here tonight. But it's been a lively Celtic performance. The movement's been good. Berkovic in particular, I think, has been first class tonight.
Durrant at the wrong side of Vareille. Celtic untroubled really by that. Lambert. Berkovic. Stilian Petrov. Free kick now will go Kilmarnock's way.
Yeah, I think Christophe Cocard would have been happier to be allowed to play on there. It was a decent advantage. Mike McCurry decided to bring them back here. It's the Reggie Blinker who catches Ian Durrant here late. Cocard was in a decent position.
Hessey. Here's Christophe Cocard, and he slipped it in for Vareille. Abou arriving in the middle, but the flag is up anyway, and it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, the flag was up, but Vida Reset did well here to get himself in to protect his central defenders here, and you can see it's very, very tight, but he's marginally offside here, Jerome Vareille, but Reset reads it well here.
Tell you what, Celtic have got a great team in the stands tonight. Stubbs and Jackie McNamara amongst them, and Mark Viduka as well. 27 goals, will be leading in his life.
I don't know how he's going to keep his eye on the game.
I'll let you watch the rest of the first half. Hessey's throw. Vareille. The RB has the situation under control. Dindeleux slapping it back. Reilly's header, but Reset calmly steers it through to Gould, and Kilmarnock aren't really coming up with much at the moment.
No, I expected more from them, Ian. They really haven't. And Jerome Vareille appears to be struggling at the moment on this near side. That's the last thing Bobby Williamson needs, because they really haven't managed to get at Celtic in the last third. Having watched them beat Hibs last week, I was expecting more from them. They did ever so well last weekend.
He's going to have to go off Vareille. He's signalled to the bench whilst play is progressing here. And injuries are going to cost Kilmarnock 2 men in this first half.
Yeah, it's a late one here by Mark Reilly. Arms all over Stilian Petrov.
Vareille trying to run it off, but he made a quick signal to the bench. Berkovic. Lambert. Killie. Berkovic ensuring Celtic hang on to it, and shaking off his former West Ham teammate Abou, but Reilly's tackle has set up Cocard. Abou about to have Petrov hassling him, but he's done well to feed it through to Gary Holt. MacPherson. Cocard. Hessey. Away by Mialbi. Petrov. Here's Lambert. Jerome Vareille there. Looks like he might be able to carry on, despite his earlier problem. Killie now, inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Varavchik wants it, he's not going to get it though. Poor pass from Killie. Durrant, who doesn't really go in for poor passes too often. Trying to smuggle that one through to Cocard. Vareille. Abou. Oh, and no great power on it, but Jonathan Gould is able to catch.
Yeah, it's just a bit down a bit too early here, Jonathan Gould. Kilmarnock do well to create the final shooting chance in the first place. It's Vareille with the layoff there. Jonathan Gould down a fraction too early, but it's still within his reach.
Celtic have actually gone 7 home games without keeping a clean sheet, but they have won so far this evening. Killie rode the challenge of Reilly. Oh, skip past Hessey. Now Berkovic. Brinker. Here they go again. Time to bring Varavchik into it. Berkovic. Varavchik. Tommy Johnson. Oh, he's turned Dindeleux. Surely held back, was he? Nothing given by Mike McCurry. Big call for a penalty.
Yeah, I think Mike McCurry has done Tommy Johnson a real disservice there.
And Petrov has been obstructed now by Reilly, and he has given that one.
Well, it's not the one that Celtic would have wanted though, Ian. I think Tommy Johnson clearly held there as he turned Freddie Dindeleux. And it's Varavchik with the ball through. Dindeleux ends up on the wrong side here of Tommy Johnson, and you can see the arms being used there. Well, in fact, he's outside the box when the offence was committed, but it certainly should have been a free kick at least.
They have got a free kick though for the later obstruction. Tommy Johnson might fancy this. No, it's Varavchik! Oh, that was so close to being a typical moment of magic for Varavchik.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to show Lubomir Varavchik so much of the goal here, because he gets the ball up and down so quickly. It's up, there's enough top spin to bring it back down, and it's just a fraction over the crossbar there. And he gets great action on the ball, this Slovakian.
Signed up for another season at Celtic, brought to the club by his fellow countryman Dr. Joe Venglos in the twilight of his career, but they love him here. Durrant. Cocard slipping it through to Gary Holt. Maybe something on for Kilmarnock, but Mialbi quickly across to block. Cocard. MacPherson to Durrant. Abou, and here's Reilly! And it's battered down by Gould.
Yeah, he got the shot away early, but well, eventually I should say, but he might have taken it earlier, Mark Reilly. But Kilmarnock having a good spell here.
We won't mention Jonathan Gould's kick out there. Here's Abou. Tripped by Mialbi. It's going to be a yellow card for the big sweep.
Well, it might be for persistent offending.
He's planted a few of them in his time at Celtic. It's taken quickly, and Holt saw his effort blocked by Gould, and Celtic survived.
Yeah, they fell asleep here, and Holt gets in behind Olivier Tebele here. Quick thinking by Ian Durrant. Paul Lambert caught, as was Tebele there, as Gary Holt made the forward run. And Bobby Williamson knows that was a real chance.
It's a corner. Ian Durrant getting a wonderful reception as he makes his way into that corner. The referee has spotted a bit of argy-bargy between Tebele and Lauchlan. I don't think Durrant particularly wants to hang around in that corner too long. So Durrant delivers, and Abou was in there. Killie was trying to get it away. Abou. Here's Dindeleux, who stayed forward. And Abou clips it well over.
Yeah, they just couldn't keep it down, but I don't think the half-time whistle will do Kilmarnock or Bobby Williamson any favours. They're having a good spell in the match, and I think the last thing they'll want to hear at the moment is the interruption of the half-time whistle. And Bobby Williamson could have done with more of this earlier in the match.
Hoisted up by Lambert. It's a little bit awkward this for Dindeleux, with Tommy Johnson lurking. Shot was barged into then by Reilly. A challenge which didn't impress the home fans. It's half-time at Celtic Park. Thank you, Jim. Yes, Kilmarnock forced into their second change of the evening because of injury. Paul Wright makes his first appearance this millennium, replacing the injured Jerome Vareille. Tosh McKinlay also had to hobble off in the first half. He was replaced by Sean Hessey. Kilmarnock in severe danger of losing their unbeaten away record this millennium in the Scottish Premier League. 6 games unbeaten, 4 of them drawn. Mind you, Kilmarnock have drawn 13 of their last 23 games. They would settle, I think, for another today, bearing in mind the situation they find themselves in. Celtic with just 3 wins in their last 9 league matches, seeking to improve that particular record as they prepare to start the second half. Goals from Tommy Johnson and Reggie Blinker have put them firmly in the driving seat. Johan Mjalby booked in the first half, as was Gus MacPherson for Kilmarnock, so those two will have to tread carefully. Kilmarnock did enough in the first half to suggest that it's not over yet, David.
I don't think Kilmarnock started playing until they were 2-0 down here. And I think they showed towards the end of the first half that they can give Celtic problems if they get enough players forward into the last third at times. And Ian Durrant in particular started to dictate things for them in the latter part of that first half.
Kilmarnock may be second from bottom, but they've only lost 4 times away from home this season. Only Rangers and Motherwell have lost fewer on the road. Too many draws, though, as we have been saying this evening. They're a big problem. Healy. Mjalby. Lambert. Forced to go back. Lubo Moravcik. Berkovic, who's been up for it this evening. And he's poked it offside against Tommy Johnson. The flag is up, and it's not going to count.
I bet you that was tight. I thought he had timed his run well there. Gets away from Dindeleux again. Berkovic tries to play him, and he's onside, I think, when the ball is played. watch as Berkovic plays the ball here, and he's clearly onside. Tommy Johnson very unlucky there, timed his run perfectly.
He sprung the offside trap as he did for the first goal. Paul Wright, Abou. Away by Olivier Tevely. Abou. Reilly concedes the throw. MacPherson. Durrant on a retrieval mission. Reilly. Oh, that's a loose one, and it's going to allow Berkovic to break, and he's got Moravcik with him now. Moravcik to Tommy Johnson. Oh, the flag's up again, and he's put it away again, and once more it will be disallowed.
Well, Moravcik couldn't, in fairness, have given him it any earlier than he did here. Berkovic's good vision to release Moravcik on the far side. The first time pass, and again I think Johnson's onside. And it's a double dunk for Tommy Johnson, and it's a sore one for a striker who knows he's timed his run perfectly to be pulled up like that.
Well, he scored a hat-trick tonight, Tommy Johnson, but only one of them counted. The other two should have done. Lauchlan. Cocard. Oh, and here's a chance for Wright, and he's taken it. Paul Wright makes quite an impact after coming on as a sub, and Kilmarnock are right back in it.
Well, this time it's Celtic that decide to hold the line. It's Meldrum and reset. Paul Wright makes the run in behind, and reset, to be fair, watches him all the way. Wright gets into the perfect position to finish it off, and Vida reset really has to match that run. You can see Paul Wright, it's not as if he's come in on his blind side. You can see Paul Wright make the run, decides not to match it, hoping for an offside, and Celtic are punished.
Vida reset. Well, Celtic effectively could have been 4-0 up. Tommy Johnson's 2 goals had been allowed, and now it's back to 2-1. Sure that if it does swing even more in Kilmarnock's favour, there will be much said about those 2 offside decisions. There'll be a fair bit said about them anyway. Reset sends that back to Gould. Suddenly there is hope for Kilmarnock. Abou. Reilly. Jim Lauchlan. There was talk that he might have been called into the Scotland squad this week. Stephen Pressley did get the call in the end. Points to come toward for Celtic now. A couple of dodgy offside calls though, foiling Tommy Johnson.
You take every break you can get in this game, Ian. There are plenty of knocks along the way, and they're right back in it now, Kilmarnock.
This is Petrov taking on Dindeleux. He's got his cross in, and Gary Holt steamed in to head it behind.
It's a good deep ball here, and Gary Holt does well because Moravcik's in a good position there. I don't think Gus MacPherson knows he's there either, and Gary Holt does well to clear.
Celtic get their first corner of the game. It'll be taken by Lubomir Moravcik, away by Dindeleux, only to Blinker. It's really chucking it down at Celtic Park now. Berkovic, Mialbi in there, but away by Holt, only to Tevely. it's just off the outside of the post.
That's a decent effort there from Olivier Tebele. A lot of bodies in front of Gordon Marshall. He wouldn't have known much about this until it came through the line of defenders in front of him. Gordon Marshall at full stretch. I don't think he could have done much about it had it crept inside the post. And it just catches the outside of the post there. Decent effort from Olivier Tebele.
Reggie Blinker is going to get a yellow card for a high boot.
He's not happy about this, Reggie Blinker. Well, he's leading with the studs there. I know Ian Durrant's high, but Reggie Blinker's clearly leading with the studs. I don't think you can have too many complaints about that.
And Mike McCarthy was a yard or so away. Blinker and Durrant exchanging a few words, none of which are probably repeatable. Jim Lauchlan then will take this Kilmarnock free kick as they go in search of an equaliser now. Up towards Holt, away by Lambert, drops for Durrant. Cocard. Holt. And MacPherson, we really caught that well, but it canned off Lambert, who's actually set things up for Moravcik, but an unusually wayward pass from the Slovakian that time. Hessey, a first-half replacement for the injured Tosh McKinlay, back at his former club, but not back for too long. The Albi won the battle with Abou. Petrov. Stopped by Dindeleux. Gary Holt flicked it on. Here's Christophe Cocard, but Lambert stepped in. That's going to go straight out, despite the efforts of the Frenchman Christophe Cocard, who's top scorer for Kilmarnock this season with 7. Celtic still haven't kept a clean sheet at home since December.
They've just lost their way at the moment in this match, Celtic. They must have felt they were well in control, and but for a couple of dodgy decisions by the far side assistant would have had this game wrapped up. But Kilmarnock are back in it, and Celtic rocking a wee bit just now.
The Albi away to Moravcik. MacPherson not giving him much time and even less space. Lambert. And with Durrant. Celtic's throw. Richie Blinker's goal proving decisive between these teams at the moment. Mialvi. Petrov. Healy. Can't keep it in.
Well, this was the goal that brought Kilmarnock back into it here. Ball played forward there. And as it's knocked into the box, Paul Wright times his run to perfection. He knows it's onside. I really don't know why Vidar Recep doesn't match his run, because he sees Wright all the way.
Hasn't figured too much this season, Paul Wright, but certainly taken his chance here. As a replacement for the injured Jerome Vareille. Lambert, Healy, Berkovic. Ian Durrant. Chris MacPherson in his 10th season with Kilmarnock. Former Rangers man. Christophe Cocard. Lauchlan. Abou. Oh, Cocard has stepped in here, and now Holt and Wright is in the middle, and others are arriving, but it's come off the RB corner.
Well, it all came from slackness here from Olivier Tebele, allowing Christophe Cocard possession down the right-hand side. Kilmarnock had men over on this side. Paul Wright trying to find a bit of space in the box, eventually attacking the front post, and it's charged down by Albi, but it all came from Olivier Tebele's slackness.
Durrant's corner, and nobody was picking up Holt, and it's gone through the crowd, and Dindeleux, and Cocard's header, and Lauchlan has scored! And Kilmarnock are level! Jim Lauchlan! What a comeback from Killie! What a nightmare for Celtic!
Yeah, they've lost it at the moment, Celtic. Not picking up at the back post there as the final ball is played in. Nobody on Jim Lauchlan. Look at Jim Lauchlan at the back post there. Nobody picking him up as the ball eventually breaks to him. And it's Olivier Tebele there who's completely unaware of Jim Lauchlan behind him. And as the header comes in here, Olivier Tebele is completely unaware of what's going on his blind side, and it's an easy header for Jim Lauchlan. No blame attached to Jonathan Gould. Kilmarnock right back in it. And a game that looked lost early in that first half is now back in the melting pot.
Jim Lauchlan with a precious goal. Very precious. And there is real belief about Kilmarnock now. And what an intriguing contest it's become. And here's Christophe Cocard. Abou is the man in the middle at the moment. Cocard waiting for others. Might not use them. Gould has saved it. And Lambert kept his cool, but Celtic are looking very ragged.
Yeah, they're on the back foot now, and Kilmarnock know it. And you can hear the anxiety going all around this ground. Celtic rocking.
Here's Abou. Oh, it just skidded under his boot. Berkovic. Moravchik. Here's Healy. Petrov. Moravchik coming in. Moravchik. MacPherson trying to snuff him out. But here's Berkovic. Offside. Flag is up, and Celtic are going to have their third goal disallowed for offside. It was put in by Reilly.
Well, let's look at this one again. And it's Berkovic, and it's played in, it's half a yard. Yeah, you have to say he's right on this occasion. It's very tight, but he's certainly right. And he has a lot of averages on his side. He's due to get one right.
Here's Healy. Celtic were 2 up against Hearts in their first home game this year, with John Barnes still in charge, and they lost that one 3-2. They've been pegged back to 2-2 here, and it's gone from being very comfortable to very, very awkward for Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, very much so, Ian. And I think it's a test of the character of this Celtic side, which has been lacking at times this season. It's all very well wanting the ball when you're 2-0 up, but it's a different situation now. And there don't appear to be too many of these Celtic players saying, give it to me.
Holt blocked that one out of play. Bobby Williamson will be delighted with the way his team have battled back here, showing the sort of spirit they need in their situation.
I think it's all down to belief, Ian. They really looked in the early part of this match as if they didn't think they could win. All of a sudden at 2-0 down, they give it the best shot, and finally discover they can give Celtic problems.
Healy helped it on, but it's mopped up by Dindeleux. Lambert. Up towards Tommy Johnson, but Lauchlan, having done the business at one end, now doing his duty at the other. Tebele. Away by Hessey. Abou has time, and he has Durrant nearby. Reisef saw that one coming, but it bobbled off him. Kilmarnock are actually unbeaten in 6 games, but draws once again rear their ugly head, because 4 of those 6 have ended all square. But they were really on a high after getting a rare victory against Hibs last week. Berkovic, though, is leading this Celtic charge. Blinker leaves it for Lubo Moravcik. Blinker on the outside. Moravcik! Oh, it's going to be Berkovic, surely! Offside! Flag is up again, and Celtic have had 4 goals disallowed for offside.
Yeah, much to the relief of Gordon Marshall, who spilled the first effort there. Great footwork, I have to say, by Eyal Berkovic, and great composure. And as the shot comes in here, he's certainly offside. And as it comes off Gordon Marshall, I have to say the assistant is spot on there. He has to give that against Eyal Berkovic.
I remember ever seeing a game where the team had the ball in the net 4 times, but it was ruled out for offside. 2 of them correct decisions, 2 of them otherwise, and of course Celtic were 2-0 up when those offside shouts went against Tommy Johnson. A point that I'm sure will not be lost on Kenny Dalglish and co. Berkovic wants Moravcik to move forward. Killie. He's again looked impressive, Colin Healy. And Moravcik trying to give it back to him, but Jim Lauchlan stayed aware and alert. Blinker. Moravcik. Into the final quarter of the game, and difficult to see which way it's going to go, if it is going to go one way. Berkovic. Moravcik. Tommy Johnson. Blinker. Celtic getting their act together. Blinker's cross, though, is clutched by Gordon Marshall.
Yeah, it wasn't the best final ball. Johan Melby was in good position at the back post. Had the angle of the cross been better.
Reset up towards Johnson, but it's down by Lauchlan to Holt. Abou.
Once again, Olivier Trevelyan just backs off there, and he's tight on Abou there as he's played up to him. And he's given all the time in the world to turn and run it at the Celtic backline.
Kilmarnock's throw. We were talking at the start of the second half, and Celtic with a 2-0 lead, about the fact that it was just as well because the Naces would get restless. Now they have got restless. Kilmarnock getting it back to 2-2. Paul Wright helped that on, but it's gone too far away from Hessey. Ian Durrant. Berkovic. Tommy Johnson. Hanging on grimly. Here's Blinker. Moravcik. Blocked by MacPherson.
Yeah, Gary Holt did well there once again, though, just giving Gus MacPherson a bit of support there.
That was a loose one from Moravcik, allowing Abou to find Paul Wright. Gary Holt. Reilly. Lauchlan. Durrant. Holt. Cocard. Berkovic. It's very, very tense around Celtic Park at the moment. Could be even more tension had Cocard got away then, but Reilly to the rescue, and he's continuing to go forward. Berkovic, and Reilly, and it's going to go in! No, off the post! Reilly can try again! It's an almighty scramble, and Kilmarnock get it away.
Unbelievable stuff. Johan Reilly, of all people, popping up in the box there.
Blinker has been dispossessed, but unfairly so.
That was a wonderful pass by Eyal Berkovic to play him in here in the first place. Gordon Marshall did well, and eventually Sean Hessey did enough as well at the death there to put Mjällby off. And he timed his run to perfection to stay onside Johan Mjällby. Pass threaded through there by Berkovic.
Oh, Petrov has been taken out, has he? Well, the referee has allowed play to go on. Cocard seems to wrap himself around Petrov.
The Celtic supporters far from happy here that a free kick wasn't given against Killie and Petrov, and I can see why. They're taken well late there by Christoph Cocard.
Celtic are making a change. 18-year-old Stephen Craney is going to come on for his second substitute appearance only, replacing Vidal Risev. Craney actually made an appearance for Scotland's under-21s in midweek as well, so it's been quite a week for a young man who has a very promising future, but this season, sadly for him, has been wrecked by a bout of glandular fever. Berkovic. Oh, another crunching challenge, and Lambert hurt as Reilly went in. It's a yellow card for Mark Reilly.
Yeah, he's had a few of them tonight, Mark Reilly. Hasn't been slow to put his foot in, and he's just second to this one, fully committed. He probably knew the minute the contact was made there that he was looking at a yellow card.
Well, let's hope Paul Lambert's okay, because he's only just returned from 2 months on the sidelines.
Well, the two significant moments though that clawed Kilmarnock back into this game. First of all, Paul Wright allowed a free run and a free header to get Kilmarnock right back into it, and Jim Lauchlan at the back post not picked up. Olivier Teveley falling asleep there at the back post to get Kilmarnock back on level terms. The game turned on its head, and he's not complaining.
Well, they are the draw specialists this season, Kilmarnock, but they will believe they can win it.
Celtic could have been back in front. That's a wonderful pass by Eyal Berkovic as Tommy Johnson comes out. Mjällby had timed his run perfectly, challenged by Hessey as he tries to get the shot in, and the spin of the ball does him no favours there as it bounces onto the face of the post.
Lambert appears to be okay. Dalglish doing his best to try and keep warm. Good luck to him. Good work tonight. A nippy night in Glasgow. And Celtic catching a chill as Kilmarnock pulled themselves back to 2-2. Paul Wright bundled over by Mjällby. No, he wasn't, says Frank McCurry. Wright told to get up. Berkovic. Mjällby. Back to Berkovic. No flag this time! And that is exceptional from Eyal Berkovic. And you can see what it means to him. Celtic are back in front.
That's a wonderful goal from a man who's turned in a wonderful performance for Celtic tonight, Ian. and he knows exactly what he was doing. He had a little exchange there to open Kilmarnock up at the back, and Gordon Marshall left helpless there. The deft lob over the top of him. Good return ball by Mjällby there. The one touch on the left thigh, the right foot did the rest, and it's no more than Eyal Berkovic deserves. He really has been head and shoulders above anyone else out there tonight. And that is a superb finish under the circumstances. Gordon Marshall coming out perhaps a bit too far in reflection, and made up Eyal Berkovic's mind for him, but it still had to be executed.
Cocard, meantime, was trying to barge his way through. And just before that goal, Kilmarnock and Paul Wright were looking for a free kick, of course. But this game swings back in Celtic's favour again, much to the dismay of Bobby Williamson. Eyal Berkovic scoring for the first time since the end of November.
Yeah, the frustrating thing that the chord that struck tonight is that when Eyal Berkovic is in this kind of form, he does look a £5 million footballer, but he just hasn't done it often enough.
Freddie Dindeleux. Oh, Kilmarnock have got to come back again. Go again, Berkovic, but his feet were a little high.
Yeah, it's high feet it's given for. Otherwise, Berkovic was in 2 against 1 there.
There are a few challenges going in, but that's all part of it.
It's a cold night. That's what we need.
Get stuck in.
Dead level on free kicks given.
Killie. Craney, the substitute, is the nearest Celtic man to Christoph Cocard. Blinker shadowing him now. Cocard doing well. Durrant. Gary Holt. MacPherson, and away by Mjällby, but he scuffed it behind for a corner.
There's still a bit of football left in this match, a bit of work for Celtic to do, Ian. Once again, Jim Lauchlan and Freddie Dindeleux go forward to the back post.
And Kilmarnock haul themselves level again, not with a corner like that from Durrant. It was comfortably cleared by Johnson. Bobby Williamson, the second longest serving manager in the Scottish Premier League, behind Jim Jeffries. Now by MacPherson on Moravchik. And have Kilmarnock lost their momentum, I wonder? They're not going to give it up as we head into the final quarter of an hour. So long last season, they were right up there. What was that? From Craney. Cocard looking to slip it through to Abou. Be rather relieved, Celtic, that they got a gel on that one. For so long last season, Kilmarnock were right up at the top of the table, but they've spent most of this season right down at the bottom. Dindeleux up towards Cocard. Mjällby got a foot in. Lambert. Killie, and that's going to be a free kick. Petrov floored by Hessey. And he's got a yellow.
Yeah, once again, he can have no complaints at all. He was skinned there on the right-hand side, Sean Hessey.
So it's a booking for Sean Hessey, a first-half sub for the injured Tosh McKinlay. Lambert Celtic are going to bring on Mark Birchall shortly. Here's Moravcik, looking to weave a little more magic. Comes to Lambert on the volley. Doesn't score many, but when they do, they can be spectacular.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one to take here. Comes out the air for Paul Lambert. He just can't keep it down.
A worthy round of applause for Tommy Johnson, who on another day might have had a hat-trick. He had 2 goals wrongly disallowed for offside, but he did score 1. Mark Birchall, left on the bench again today, comes on for the closing stages. Scored the winner against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park earlier in the season. Lauchlan with an up and under, which Tepperley does deal with. Away by Craney. Birchall getting his first touch, assisted by Lubo Moravcik, who took the wrong option, although Reilly almost ran into trouble in the shape of Birchall. Durrant, Cocard. Suddenly it opens up for Kilmarnock here. And Gary Holt is not going to get much joy out of that. Berkovic. Killie. Mialbi. Berkovic. Moravcik. Blinker is hugging the touchline, and that's come off Reggie Blinker with the goal kick. Gus MacPherson doing his duty for Kilmarnock. A reminder of the Monday night match for you this week. It's Tottenham Hotspur against Middlesbrough from White Hart Lane, and you can see it on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra after the boys have rounded up all the weekend action. And plenty to talk about there as usual. Here's Blinker. Berkovic. Petrov has made a run into the box, but here's Healy and Reilly on hand. Conditions adding to the tension in this game. We've had rain, snow, sleet, a bit of everything. Birchall. No way through that time.
Good block by Jim Lauchlan there. Chances at both ends now, the game's starting to stretch.
Dindeleux's header. Gary Holt. Ian Durrant. All right. Durrant, and that's going to release Abou. He's going to get there. Abou's cross, met by Mialbi, but it's only cleared as far as Sean Hessey. And he can drop one in there again, but not quite so good that time. Birchall will chase this, but Lauchlan covering. Kilmarnock plugging away. Durrant, he saw that one intercepted by Stephen Craney. But it's Kilmarnock's throw, and it's edgy stuff, edge of seat stuff in the closing stages. Hessey, that one's going to carry straight through to Jonathan Gould. Celtic will be rather relieved.
Yeah, they still don't look completely in control of the match, Celtic, and I think their confidence is still a bit fragile after last weekend. Certainly Canero Mitchell is looking for more.
Lauchlan's header. Killie. That ball will spin out. The Celtic throw. The 3 goals they've scored this evening have taken Celtic's tally for the season to 95. Only 10 of them scored by Scots. Up towards Moravchik, but you'd fancy MacPherson to win that. Reilly. Blinker. Berkovic. Here he goes again. Oh, it's a showcase from Isle Berkovic. He won't score, but Mitchell will, and this time the flag stays down and Celtic have restored their 2-goal cushion. Berkovic is hurt.
Yeah, Mark Birchall had a very quick look over his shoulder here to see if the flag was up. But it's absolute genius here from Isle Berkovic as he plays Mark Birchall, and I think decent claims here for offside. But Celtic are due a break from this far side assistant. Wonderful play from Berkovic, eventually playing Birchall in. Looked well offside to me. But as I said, Celtic have been on the wrong side of a few of these decisions tonight, and Mark Birchall will quite happily take that one.
So Mark Birchall scores his 8th of the season. But the man who created it, Isle Berkovic, hurt in the process.
Was Mark Birchall offside? That's the question, but it's delightful play by Berkovic. Birchall trying to stay onside here. Berkovic is clear, and as the ball is played, I think Mark Birchall is in an offside position there.
Well, that flag has gone up so much this evening against Celtic. Birchall pleased to see it stay down this time, but there is a problem with Berkovic, who has shown the sort of form that endeared him to Southampton fans when Graham Souness first brought him to British football, and to West Ham fans as well. But as Davey has been saying, simply hasn't done it enough in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kenny Dalglish will have watched this Isle Berkovic performance, and we certainly hope he's all right down there, Ian. But he will have watched his performance and just wondered if the season might have been different had this man turned it on a bit more often. The talent is there is no question about that, and he's gone through the full repertoire tonight. And Mark Birchall delighted to come on and get on the score sheet, and unless he's level or behind the ball as it's played to him from Berkovic, he's offside, and I think he's just offside as it's played through here. Well, it might be behind the ball. I don't know from that angle, but certainly it has to be level or be behind the ball as Berkovic takes his last touch to be onside.
Well, Berkovic needs to field of play on a stretcher, sadly, but he has graced this field of play today, and the applause ringing in his ears. So that's not too serious. We've already seen a nasty injury today to Stan Collymore. So Berkovic is off, and remember him, Bobby Petzer comes on for his first appearance this millennium. The Celtic fans who have stayed away today have missed a classic contest here. That was straight onto the chest of Dindeleux. Abou just seemed to stumble, allowing Colin Healy to retrieve it. It was a brave fight back by Kilmarnock, but it looks like they won't get much reward for their efforts tonight. Vareille. Petrov steaming away here. And Dindeleux slid in. Man of the match tonight, Davey?
Oh, Isle Berkovic by a mile, and he really has been sensational tonight, and we certainly hope he's all right downstairs. Looks a bad one he's taken, but he's been head and shoulders above everyone else out there this evening.
Moravchik. Healy. Mialbi. Tebeli. Away by MacPherson is Reggie Blinker though. Over the top by Tebeli. Abou. Away by Mialbi. MacPherson will get ready to take the throw. Abou trying to put Cocard in, and he has done. Cocard's cross steered away by Mialbi. Blinker to Craney. Now Bobby Petter, but across came Lauchlan. 40,569 at Celtic Park tonight. That's more than 15,000 down on the lowest league attendance this season. And whilst you can certainly understand why they stayed away, they have missed a pretty good game. I'm sure they're watching around the pubs and clubs and in their homes. But, as I say, perfectly understandable really as to why they gave it a miss. Celtic have responded to getting bashed by Rangers last week, even if they haven't done it in an entirely convincing way. Kilmarnock could face the relegation playoffs if they finish bottom, a point above Aberdeen. Although those playoffs won't happen if Falkirk finish in the top three. They are in the top three at the moment, but Raith Rovers are closing in. Falkirk's ground not good enough. Grace is. Durrant. Lauchlan. We are in added on time. And there will be 4 minutes of added on time. Gary Holt might have showed too much of that to Mialbi. And the free kick is given in favour of the Swedish international.
Yeah, Gary Holt just overruns this and ends up stretching it, and he catches Johan Mialbi late. He took the knock on the top of the foot. Well, let's try and clear this Mark Birchall goal up. Finally, I just wonder if I did him a disservice here. Berkovic works his way through. Well, is Birchall behind the ball? In fact, he is. And he's onside, so apologies to Mark Birchall for holding his position so well.
So, huge relief for Kenny Dalglish that his team have rediscovered winning ways. They play again here on Wednesday night against Motherwell. Next up for Bobby Williamson is a home match against Dundee United next weekend. Just a point above Aberdeen at the bottom. Here's Cocard. He's pushed it past Temperley, but Mialbi is steaming across. Oh, Mialbi has taken out Cocard here. He's on a yellow card, and he's going to get away with that.
Oh, he's very lucky. He's very lucky, Johan Mialbi. Skinned here by Christophe Cocard. He just gets the first touch there. And I think Mike McCurry does the Swedish defender a real favour here. Who knows it?
Cocard actually showed an imaginary card. McCurry didn't. Durrant whipped that one in. It was flipped away by Petrov. And Hessey can't keep it in. It's all over now for Kilmarnock. Even though they did offer some brave resistance, but when you bear in mind that Celtic had 2 decent goals wrongly disallowed for offside, I suppose justice has been done. Ian Durrant. Celtic fans enjoyed that one, even if he didn't.
Oh, the game's just drifted away from Kilmarnock. It all looked so promising at 2-2. And you have to hand it to Celtic. Had a ropey spell at 2 each, but came back strongly, much to the disappointment of this man.
Bobby Petta. Moravcik. Oh, Lambert was unusually sloppy. Seconds remaining though. Abou. Hessey. Reilly. Abou. It's all over.